Hey guys, Eric Hoban here from Creation Today, and I get the privilege of talking with Jeff Swanson. He is the developer of a book called The Plan, which is available on Amazon.com. You can get 20 years of research for just $9.99, as he literally puts the Bible in chronological order and has hyperlinks from prophecies to fulfillment of prophecies. Incredible, incredible book. I encourage you to check out The Plan, available on Amazon. Hey Jeff, thanks so much for talking with me. I talked to you a couple of weeks ago about the whole old earth, young earth controversy, and I wanted to ask you, because you told me something about prophecy and how if you take an old earth view, it messes up prophecy, and that blew my mind. I'd gone from all kinds of scientific information and Exodus and showing, hey, 4 and 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, to show, look, it really was 6 24-hour days. But you gave some very interesting stats on that from prophecy. Can you go through and tell me, remind me, how is it that we look at prophecy and come to the conclusion of young earth?
Absolutely. Let me kind of give you a little bit of a background, a little layout here of what's inside the plan, because one of the more amazing discoveries I found was that there was exactly 2,000 years from Adam's creation to the point where Abraham leaves Ur. And you say, well, what's that significant? Well, that's exactly when Abraham ceased to be a patriarch and started becoming a Hebrew. It says that in Genesis 14. That's the first time he's actually mentioned as a Hebrew. And as a Hebrew, that's when he was actually separated out from the world. He was obeying God and going towards the land of Canaan. Well, what's interesting is there's exactly 1,993 years from the time Abraham leaves Ur to Christ's crucifixion, which of course is the fulfillment of numerous number of prophecies. It's a time period that's just exactly 7 years short of a 2,000-year time frame for what's on the Hebrew clock. And where do we find that 7 years? Well, we actually find that in Daniel chapter 9, and we talk about the 70 weeks. And really, the Hebrews should have got it. Now, one of them actually did. Andrew did. He saw Jesus, and he went right back to his brother Peter, and he said, hey, the Messiah is here. How did he know that? He was expecting the Messiah to come because he understood and believed the prophecies that were in Daniel, and he could see that time clock ticking. So he knew the exact time that the Messiah was supposed to be there, was expecting him, and he arrived and recognized him when he was there. So what I find is interesting is that 7 year time frame that's still yet to come has got some other interesting things to it. Is that, of course, in Revelation chapter 12, it talks about the dragon. It goes on to clarify who that is, and it's Satan himself. And Satan is the one that that opposes Jesus all the way through the entire Bible, all the way through time.
Right.
Now, Daniel chapter 7 and 25, it says that this person, still yet to come, will be during this 7 year time frame. Some people know him as the Antichrist. He's actually going to try to speak against the Most High, and he's going to try and do something else. When you look at Daniel 7 and 25, it says he's going to try and change the times and the laws. You stop that and you actually look at that word times, it actually means appointed time. And it's reiterated again in Daniel 11:35. It says that he will try to change those set appointed times, but he will not. So here's the point. In the future, there's a deception that's going to try and come, and what's that wrapped around? It's wrapped around Satan's strategy to try and change those set times. And how does the best way to do that? Well, history tells us that all you have to do is change the history in the past, and it will change your perception of where you are right now, and you are very vulnerable for deception in the future. So this is exactly what Satan's strategy is. It's why this old earth has only been in play since about 1790, when the founder of modern geology started stretching those times out. That's when this strategy started getting implemented, because before that, no one would have bought it. No one would have believed it. They just would not have accepted an old earth.
So literally we see a changing of the times. Literally, they're trying to change the history of the appointed times. You look at that prophecy and you go, this is where this old earth is coming from.
Exactly, because the enemy knows his time is short, And nobody wants to follow a loser. No one wants to follow somebody with a end that's very, very short. So he has to put a smokescreen out there and deceive people into believing into something that doesn't exist. While he does that, he can mastermind just innumerable number of deceptions. It's just like Hitler said, the bigger the deception, the easier it is for people to swallow. Hard to believe, but that was what Hitler said.
Well, that's amazing. I know there's a lot of people that are confused about the whole old earth, young earth controversy, but this sheds a whole new light on it, showing that this whole old earth idea may be the changing of the appointed times. Because if you do change that, you no longer have the 2,000 years, then the 1,993 years, and then, hey, what's next? Another 2,000 year, maybe church age, and then that 7 year, and then the millennial reign. So that's fascinating. Well, thanks very much for sharing this. Again, guys, I encourage you to go check out his book, The Plan, available on Amazon, and it is well worth getting that and being able to look through the scriptures the way Jeff has detailed it there. Man, Jeff, thanks again so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate being on.
God bless. Bye-bye.
You too.